Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. Welcome back to another episode of Say What Needs to Be Said. I'm your host, Asante, Mr. Pick Six Samuel, two-time Super Bowl champion, Pro Bowler, All-Pro, record-breaking cornerback, and the last cornerback to intercept 50 interceptions during a 16-game season era. Clap it up for your boy. That's a big accomplishment. We can never forget that. They don't want y'all to remember that. Man, we had some exciting football this weekend. What's up, chat? How y'all doing out there, man? We got to ride solo tonight, man. We grinding and we are vibing out tonight, man. Make sure y'all like, comment, make sure y'all subscribe. In the chat section, man, make sure y'all scream at me, man. We talk back, man. Hey, Patrick Mahomes, man, and the Texans, man. We have to talk about that. Oh, man, the Ravens versus the Steelers, the Buffalo Bills versus the Bengals. Man, it was some exciting games tonight, man. It was some exciting games today. And, man, exciting week of football, man. How we doing out there? I love y'all. I hope y'all love me back. I hope y'all appreciate me the way I appreciate y'all. I appreciate y'all tuning in. Make sure y'all hype this thing up. But, man, let's get into it, man. Let's get into this thing, man. The Houston Texans beat Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs 20-10. And, man, let me tell you, 20-10. But before we get into it, let's go over these stats a little bit. 268 yards in total offense for the Houston Texans. 274 yards in total offense for the Kansas City Chiefs. Houston Texans with the number one defense. They played a heck of a game. And, man, yes, man, let's just get right into it. Y'all know I don't like to waste no time. Y'all know I don't like to waste no time. Sometimes we gamble and we win. But most of the time, we gamble and we lose. What was Andy Reid thinking? Y'all? Andy can't go for it on fourth down and get the ball back to the Texans in field goal range like that. He cannot do that to his team. That's diabolical. That play sealed the game for the Texans, point blank, period. I'm pretty sure the Kansas City Chiefs would have won this game if Andy Reid decides to kick the ball. The Chiefs' defense was playing lights out, no question about it. Man, I get it. Andy Reid and the Chiefs are desperate. They are desperate. And Andy Reid wants to put points on the board. They need wins. They want to get in the playoffs. But coach can't put his defense in a situation like that and pressure on the defense to make a stop. It's diabolical. That cost the Kansas City Chiefs the game. That's not playing smart football at all. The first thing you have to do when you start playing football in NFL is make sure you're playing smart football. That's not smart football at all. That's what they teach us. Right, chat? Talk to me. Is that smart? Was that smart? The Chiefs was supposed to 100% punt the ball on fourth down at the end of the game. But we all know desperate times calls for desperate measures. And defense was balling, man. Defense was balling for Kansas City. Defense was balling. But like I said, man, Patrick Mahomes isn't going to the playoffs for the first time as a starting quarterback in the NFL, the National Football League, his first time. Does anyone believe me now? I told y'all that since week 4, in the beginning of the season, I made all my predictions. Does anyone believe me now? This just isn't the year for Kansas City Chiefs. This isn't the year. Things isn't working out. Travis Kelce getting old. Patrick Mahomes just has to do too much on offense. The players he are playing with are okay. They're not exceptional. You know, Travis Kelce is getting old and things like that. The players he's playing with are okay, but not like he's used to having. You know what I'm saying? Xavier Worthy, he is fast, but he isn't the best football player. Rashee Rice is a heck of a football player, but he doesn't have that breakaway speed Mahomes is used to getting the ball to and get those quick scores. Y'all will not believe how many yards Patrick Mahomes had in the first half passing. Can anyone guess? Patrick Mahomes had 68 yards passing in the first half, but he also had negative 10 yards in sacks, so it totaled out to 58 yards passing. 0 points in the first half for Patrick Mahomes. This is not the same offense we are used to seeing from the Kansas City Chiefs. This is not the same offense. CJ Stroud, man, he played pretty solid game. He's getting his groove back. He's starting to look like he's progressing from that rookie season in this game. And that's what I want to see. He made a ton of plays. He made the plays like we used to seeing him make his rookie season. He went 15 for 31, 203 yards. He got the job done. Nico Collins had 4 receptions for 121 yards. Nico, on that 46-yard bomb, CJ Stroud has to get used to the cold weather, man, and understand he's not in Texas. Texas, I understand they got that good weather in Texas. You got to lead Nico out there, lead it in front of him so he can catch it in stride and go for the full touchdown and complete the play, you know? And CJ Stroud didn't get that done. Patrick Mahomes, 14 for 33. Man, this is not like Patrick Mahomes, man. 14 for 33, 160 yards. 3 interceptions, no touchdowns. The running game was mute. Xavier Worthy, like I said, he's fast. But he isn't the best of football players, if you know what I mean. He isn't the best of them, you know. And the Texans, man, the Texans. Listen, the Texans are a dangerous team heading to the postseason, man. If they make it there, they are a dangerous team. They are a team no one would expect to be in the Super Bowl. Don't be fooled. I'm here to tell y'all. This is why y'all come to say what needs to be said. What up, chat? Don't be fooled. Offense wins games. And defense wins championships. Yes, sir. Y'all make sure y'all remember that. Yeah, y'all like my new chair. Offense wins games. Defense wins championships. Y'all remember that team with Ray Lewis and the Ravens? They barely, a Trent Dilfer at quarterback, had no offense at all. None at all. I think Trent Dilfer had 120-some yards passing that game. Defense, man, that was one of the best defense to probably ever play in the NFL. That's the type of defense. Woo! Texas look like they can play defense like that, man. And yeah, like I said, man, CJ Stroud has to get used to the cold weather, brother. The brother has to get used to cold weather, man. Unless he plans on being the first seed in the AFC. Unless they plan on being the first seed in the AFC. You better learn how to start dealing with those freezing temperatures, man. There was a few plays he left out there tonight, particularly that past Nico Collins. He threw it. He didn't hit him in stride. He kind of hit him, threw it kind of short, and didn't complete the play. But they still made the play, but you know what I mean. Touchdown. We want to see touchdowns. But it was a good game tonight, man. They played some tough football. It was a good defensive battle. It was a defensive battle. Wasn't a lot of stats out there and going on, things like that. Man, and I got to tell y'all, the Texans have a very good team on defense. They play really good ball on defense. CJ Stroud, it's not about what you did in the regular season. It's about when you start playing at a high level close to the postseason. And CJ Stroud, if he can continue to start, making a little progress and knocking down little things here and there until January, man, listen, Texans, that's a scary unit to have to deal with, man. Woo! They play very good ball on defense, man. That's not an easy thing to deal with. But moving right along, man, we got the Bears versus the Steelers. And we know, the Bears versus the Packers. The Bears versus the Packers. The Packers beat up on the Bears 28-21 in the battle for the NFC North. Who will win the NFC North? And let me tell you, man, let's get into these stats. 315 yards. Caleb Williams, he was pretty impressive today. 337 yards total for Green Bay Packers. Third down efficiency, 8 for 12 for the Green Bay Packers, and then 8 for 16 for the Chicago Bears. Not too much in this. Chicago Bears, they control the ball pretty much a lot in this game. They control the ball a lot. But the key to success for the Green Bay Packers, man, moving forward, is they will need to get Josh Jacobs going like they did last season, like he was running last season. If they could get Josh Jacobs going, everything will be a lot easier. They have all the pieces to the puzzle, to be a championship team. They just need to pick that run game up just as they did last year. It's not that it's bad. It's just we know what it can do because we saw it do last, seen it popping last year or last season. You know, yeah. If the Packers can end up doing that, get Josh Jacobs going, they would be one of the hot teams going into the playoffs for sure. Another one of the hot teams. We don't know, man. We have no clue. It's hard to tell who's going to win the playoffs. There's no for sure bet right now speaking about who is going to win the playoffs. I couldn't guess. I couldn't put my fingers there. Y'all know who my two teams that I picked, but there is not one team that we can say we can consider you the Super Bowl champions for the 2025 season, you know? But like I said, that's one area the Packers can improve on to help their chances to be that Super Bowl contending team, right? Defense is pretty solid. For a long time, decades, man, the Packers defense was known for being soft, not physical, not making plays, all of those things. Now the defense is pretty solid. All around the board. And that y'all see, I talked about those cornerback, Kenson, can't think of the names right off the rip. I talked about those cornerbacks and how impressed I was with them watching them play and how elite basically they're playing at cornerback for the Green Bay Packers. We weren't used to seeing that. And add Michael Parsons to the team made the defense more dangerous. Simple as that. Adding Michael Parsons, man, the Green Bay Packers are something to deal with moving forward for sure. They look like they're getting it. Josh Jacobs, man. Josh Jacobs had 86 yards on 20 carries. He's getting there. Right now, I think he's about 800 and something yards for total for the season. You know what I mean? And then you got Christian Watson, man. Christian Watson showed up big. I don't understand what the Bears was doing on certain plays, you know, putting certain players on Christian Watson, one of the fastest wide receivers in the NFL. But we'll get into that. We will get into that, you know. I can't take anything away from Caleb Williams, man. Caleb Williams is coming into his own. And yeah, I think he's just starting to scratch the surface of what he can possibly be in the future for the NFL. I think he's going to be a superstar. Not because of just him. You know, he has a good organization behind him with a good coaching staff now that they have Ben Johnson and yeah, man, they playing really good over there, you know. And the main thing about Caleb Williams, he didn't start off the game too hot, you know, but he played a really, really good second half. Man. And just ended up making a bad read at the end of the game, man. Ended up making a bad read. Be like that sometime. You know, you can't make the perfect read all the time, but he made a bad read. But he would learn to overcome that and figure out, you know, how to layer the ball in certain situations, you know, because obviously the player who intercepted the ball was in front of his receiver when he was trying to hit him, you know. But like I said, the first half was moving too slow for me, you know, for the Chicago Bears. I want to see Caleb Williams start faster, you know. He passed for 32 yards and rushed for 5 yards in the first half. Can y'all believe that? Caleb Williams passed for 32 yards and rushed for 5 yards in the first half. And when you start slow like that, that forces your team to play from behind. And I don't know if Caleb Williams is, you know, I know he's the fourth quarter comeback kid. You understand what I'm saying? I know that. He's doing his thing, though. I like what I seen. And they have that double monster, them two running backs. DeAndre Swift and Monange. Yeah, I got it right. Had to think about that. But yeah, man, those two running backs, man, they make the job much easier for Caleb Williams back there quarterbacking, man, you know. But like I said, he put together a really good drive. On that first, Caleb Williams put together a really good drive to get the first touchdown of the game, you know. But it always seems like Caleb Williams is running for his life on that drive, as well as when he's playing football up here. I don't know if it's because of his size or just the way he runs, it just seems like he's always running for his life and he's trying to get away because somebody's about to kill him, But he make plays, man. He make plays and he do his thug thizzle, man. He do his thug thizzle. So yeah, man, that's the Bears versus the Broncos. And now we're going to get into the Broncos versus the Raiders. And we don't have too much to talk about here, but I have to give my spiel about Bo Nix. And let's get into it, real quick. The Broncos beat the Las Vegas Raiders 24-17. And Bo Nix and company, 356 yards of total offense, 0 turnovers. 0 turnovers on both sides of the football. 7 for 12 on third down for the Broncos and 3 for 9 on third down for the Raiders. And this game right here, Bo Nix, 31 for 38, 212 yards. That's about 5 yards per play. No, did he have a touchdown? Did I miss that? Hold on 1 second, y'all. Did Bo Nix throw a touchdown? I have to double check this. No, Bo Nix did not throw a touchdown. Don't make me lie. Got to talk to the graphics department about that right there. They want to make me lie. I knew Bo Nix did not have a touchdown today, and that was part of the problem. That's what we're here to talk about today. R.J. Harvey, 17 carries, 75 yards. Broncos are going to always run the ball well. Courtland Sutton showed up, caught a couple catches from our boy, Bo Nix. Then we had Geno Smith, man. Geno Smith, Ashton Genty. Man, it's a mess over there. It's a mess over there. It is a hot mess over there. Another game, Bo Nix doesn't throw a touchdown. Man. But he gets the victory. He gets the job done. So chill out. But Bo Nix not throwing touchdowns is not a good sign. We almost in January. I hope y'all understand that. And it ain't like Bo Nix was playing against the Houston Texans or one of these teams with a great defense. They was playing against the Raiders. Everyone is used to having fun with. And Bo Nix, he didn't have the type of numbers that we want to see, And it will be hard for Denver to win in the playoffs if Bo Nix doesn't get the football in the end zone. As simple as that. Bo Nix has to get the ball in the end zone. 31 completions and only 212 yards. You know what that tells me? That tells me there's a lot of conservative offense calls being made. Bo Nix, when I watch the Bo Nix play, all the passes are in front of everything. There's nothing challenging. I mean, there's obviously plays that's challenging, but most of the plays are just check downs. Scheme passes to get the ball out quick. And that's your read. You understand? It's like I want to see more complex quarterbacking by Bo Nix. That's what I want to see. But let's just have a conversation. Let's have this conversation about Bo Nix so y'all can make sure y'all understand where I'm coming from. When I criticize Bo Nix, I talk my shit about Bo Nix because I'm just having fun, right? And don't get it twisted. Bo Nix is a good quarterback. I'm not debating that. That's not a debate. Bo Nix has proved already that he's a good quarterback. My challenge is for Bo Nix to be a Super Bowl contender type quarterback. He's already crossed the threshold of being a good quarterback. Now he's trying to be a great quarterback. And that's all I do. I challenge people to prove me wrong and show me that you are that great and everything that I'm saying is basically wrong. So don't get it twisted. But I can recognize. Now, Bo Nix, I didn't think he was a good quarterback at Auburn and things like that. He went to Oregon and became a better quarterback. Now, yeah, he's a good quarterback. Yeah, he has a good system and things like that, but that doesn't matter. He's a good quarterback, So when I say he isn't like that, that's what I mean. When I say Bo Nix isn't like that, that's what I'm basically talking about. I want to see Bo Nix take his team to the next level. He's already good. But the problem that I see is Bo Nix just leaves too many plays on the field. He leaves a lot of plays on the field. It's like a consistent 3 or 4 plays every game he misses that should be easy completions for Bo Nix. Yeah. That's what it is with Bo Nix. And old poor Geno Smith, man. Wasn't nothing wrong with Geno Smith. There was nothing wrong with Geno Smith. Geno didn't want to come back in the game because he didn't want to have to deal with it, keep playing against that Denver pass rush. Boy, that Denver pass rush is relentless. That was I'm feeling sorry for myself. I'm not going back in the game type attitude, Yeah, he got hit hard. Yeah, he was contemplating before he got hit. If y'all ain't noticed him on the sideline, he was rubbing his leg. He didn't want to have to keep dealing with that pass rush, man. Geno Smith is on his way to retirement, man. I'm done with this stuff. But yeah, when you see players like that, they kind of just throwing in the towel. Geno mindset is, if they ain't about to block for me, I ain't going back in the game. Basically, that's how he felt. So that's what he did. He did exactly how he felt. Right, chat? Wasn't nothing wrong with Geno, man. Wasn't nothing wrong with Geno. But how we doing out there, chat, man? Now the game. The Cleveland Browns versus the Tennessee Titans. We have to talk about. We have a lot to discuss this. So y'all tune in, get your coffee, get your water, get your soda pop, like they say in the country, get your soda, whatever you're sipping on, man. But we have to get into this, man. We have some interesting things to talk about when it comes to Shedeur Sanders. Man, they tried to blackball the young man, and whew, you can't stop what God got for you out here. That's the truth. That is the truth. And the Tennessee Titans beat Shedeur Sanders and the Cleveland Browns. Hold on 1 second, y'all. Let me check this message real quick. Oh. Yeah, man. So, yeah, Tennessee Titans beat Shedeur Sanders and the Cleveland Browns, 31-29. The Tennessee Titans beat Shedeur Sanders and the Cleveland Browns, 31-29. Y'all notice what I said? Beat Shedeur Sanders and the Cleveland Browns, because Cleveland Browns are now Shedeur Sanders' team. That's Shedeur Sanders' team, baby. 412 yards of total offense, baby. 8 for 14 on third down for the Cleveland Browns. 292 yards of total offense for the Tennessee Titans. 6 for 17 on third down. Nobody went for it on fourth down. And red zone efficiency, 3 for 3 for the Cleveland Browns and Shedeur Sanders. 2 for 2 for Cam Ward. And Shedeur Sanders, man, let me tell you, Shedeur Sanders was very, very close to completing an epic comeback. He was so close to completing an epic comeback. He was about to finish it. But Kevin freaking Stefanski decided his scheme was better than the talent. And he want to use a trick play for a 2-point conversion. Why in the hell would Kevin Stefanski, why wouldn't Kevin Stefanski keep Shedeur in the game to try to convert on a 2-point conversion to tie the game up? That didn't make no sense. I swear the things Stefanski does is so backwards, makes no sense, man. Shedeur is clearly, he showed this in this game. Shedeur is clearly a run-pass threat. He showed he can be a run-pass threat, which is a better option than the wildcat play with the running back. It's as simple as that. Shedeur clearly can be a run-pass threat. Why would you make the offense be one-dimensional by running the wildcat? I understand Quinshon Judkins is one of the best players on the team. But don't let the defense know that the only option is to run the football when you need a 2-point conversion. Why? Stefanski, man, he is a walking mistake. Let's check him out.
What was supposed to happen on that last 2-point conversion?
Yeah, not going to get into all the specifics, Jeff, but obviously did not go as we thought it would.
Did you make that call or did Tommy?
Yeah, I make every call.
Shedeur had the hot hand. Why would you take him off?
Yeah, it's a 2-point play. Didn't come through on our first 2-point play. Got to the second 2-point play. We didn't come through, but that's on me.
Was that play call yours or Tommy's?
I'm responsible for all of it.
I'm responsible for all of it. Stefanski's getting too comfortable saying it's his fault. He's responsible for everything. It's on me. He's just getting too comfortable. Why is he allowed to feel that comfortable as the head coach that everything is his fault when things are going bad? And it's a losing season. You shouldn't feel comfortable. Yeah, I'm pissed off. Everybody else is pissed off too. Stefanski didn't let Shedeur Sanders finish his epic comeback because he wanted to go for a freaking 2-point conversion and run a wildcat play. Where they do that at? That was a big mistake. And then to call a reverse, when you're trying to gain 2 yards, you call a reverse? Now, I can see a running play if the quarterback comes to the line and he checks to a run if he sees something, but it wasn't called as a set running play. Man, to call a set running play for my money, that's crazy, man. That's crazy. I bet so many people screaming at the television. It's insane. And to me, Stefanski can't tell when and where he has playmakers at and how to use his playmakers, for that matter. Yes, Quinshon Judkins is one of the best players on the team, but he's not the quarterback. So if you put him at quarterback, everyone's going to know it's a run play. It's very simple. And then you don't even try to make him go straight downhill, north and south, get the offensive linemen behind him and hopefully push him in the end zone. You decide to go east and west. Hand the ball off to the running back, let the running back hand the ball off to a receiver. That was terrible. But they better stop playing with Shedeur like he wasn't supposed to be one of the first quarterbacks taken in the draft. You hear me? They better stop playing with him. Boy, they better stop playing with Shedeur. If not the first quarterback taken in the draft. Right? And of course, yeah, he made a few bad decisions today, but today he didn't make that many bad decisions, and he made some crucial ones. That's just part of the game. Shedeur is learning to get better. Every game he's learning. It's something he's going to learn in each game. That's just a part of the game. Shedeur went 23 for 42 and 364 yards with 4 touchdowns. One of them was a running touchdown. And one crucial interception, boy. One crucial interception. Man, one crucial interception. And on that play, it's just Shedeur being a rookie, man. That's a part of the game. Shedeur being a rookie. He reverted back to his college days trying to make something happen, when basically it was nothing there to make happen. It caused a turnover. But what was so significant about that play, it's like it was bad timing. Things started going downhill right after that interception. The series of bad plays went interception, sack, and then the running back fumbles the football. But hey, You know how hot Shedeur was in the first half? Shedeur was absolutely amazing in this game. Shedeur went 9 for 14, and I think he had 180 yards and 2 touchdowns in the first half. No interceptions. He was straight on fire out there. Straight. It was so impressive. Going against the number 1 draft pick that he was hoping that he could possibly be at least the top 5. The most impressive throw by Shedeur for me today was that throw to David Njoku in the second quarter for that touchdown, man. I like that play first because it's very hard. It's extremely hard to pass in goal line situations. That's the first thing that I liked about it most. The second thing was the accuracy of that throw to David Njoku. While, the defensive back had good coverage on Njoku. So Shedeur has to use his accuracy and put the ball in the right places so his players can make plays. And that's exactly what he did all day. That's exactly what he did all day. In just 3 starts, y'all can see that. Look at number 8. In just 3 starts, Shedeur is already cementing his name in NFL history. Shedeur is number 8 with 300 plus yard passing games as a rookie. Shedeur is number 8 with 300 plus passing yards as a rookie. That's big time. That's big time. Dylan Gabriel barely could contribute 200 yards to that offense. And if he did, and when he did, pass for 200 yards, that was considered a hell of a game for Dylan Gabriel. The Shedeur haters was trying to pub it up and make it seem like it was the best thing in the world because he could get the football out his quick. Get the football out his hand quick. He could make reads quickly. He could process things quick. Man, I hated hearing all of those shenanigans, all of that foolishness, all of that monarchy. Y'all know I'm messing up the word. But everything was terrible. I hated hearing all of those comments, fake comments for Dylan Gabriel. It's like it was forced. Only because people don't like Shedeur Sanders and his family. But I like how Shedeur Sanders corrects his bad habits, like I mentioned last week, man. He has to get used to stepping up in the pocket. Instead of doing that usual spin out move that he used to doing since his Colorado days. That's his favorite go-to move. And what did he do? He got used to it. Shedeur stepped up in the pocket so beautiful most of the game today. Pretty much 90% of his drop back passes, 95% of his drop back passes. Or not 90% passive, 90% of the time when he needed to step up in the pocket, he did it correctly. Let's put it like that. He stepped up beautifully, man. And that I'm sure that played a big part of Shedeur having a big game today. Another thing is Shedeur is trying to get used to learning when to get rid of the football. I see that's still a little uncomfortable for him because he wants to hold that football to the last minute and try to make a play. So he's getting used to getting rid of the football. Now I know it sounds a little crazy, like when I said these Shedeur needs to have big games these last 3 games. I'm talking about 300 plus yard type of games to convince the organization they don't need to look no further. They have found their quarterback. Yeah. And shout out to Jerry Jeudy, man. We get on him when things aren't going so good. But when things go good, you got to give him a shout out. And Jerry Jeudy, he showed up. He showed up for the young pup. And on that play, that touchdown, Jerry Judy was running so fast, boy, that touchdown. Man, he must knew the ball was coming to him or something, boy. Jerry Judy struck out like lightning. And if y'all watch that play, he took his frustration out on the field. He took his frustration out on that defensive back. When he ran the skinny post, when Shedeur hit him, Jerry Judy was trying to punish that cornerback. He used the swim move on him, right? It was like Jerry Judy used the swim move like he had some type of protected gear on his forearm or something. He was like he was swinging on homeboy. He used his forearm on boom. And that's what we want to see, man. Use your frustration, take it out on the field. Show up. Go do your thing. Now Jerry Judy has the right to talk shit and start commanding the football because we see what you do now. You showed up. Now you need to continue to show up. I hope everyone can see, including the organization, right, how Shedeur Sanders is raising the confidence level of all of the players, especially on offense, especially the offensive players. Shedeur doesn't have to depend on screen concepts to get big plays for his offense. He is going to take shots down the field whether you like it or not. That's just who Shedeur Sanders is. I just hate that Stefanski waited so long to finally give Shedeur Sanders the keys at quarterback. We had to deal with this Dylan Gabriel mess for so long. I really can't believe Stefanski tried to put Dylan Gabriel ahead of Shedeur Sanders. That's funny. That's very funny. And I guarantee you Cleveland would have more wins on their record if Shedeur starts when Stefanski decided to bench Joe Flacco. 100%. Now Shedeur was asked what happened on his interception. And the reporters, the beat writers and things like that, they come at him. So they're coming for Shedeur. They got to ask him the tough questions. Shedeur was asked what happened on that interception.
And I say I feel we stagnant, I'm trying to get a spark. I'm trying to, so that's all it is. And as the game goes on, as time goes on, and I know my dad mad at me for that, for sure. I know the team, everybody is. But I would say as time goes on, those decisions and those things, will slim down. And we won't be in situations where I have that feeling, like I got to make something happen. So, yeah.
Said a lot. Let's listen to it again. Let's run that back.
Interception, I say I feel we stagnant, I'm trying to get a spark. I'm trying to, so that's all it is. And as the game goes on, as time goes on, and I know my dad mad at me for that, for sure. I know the team, everybody is. But I would say as time goes on, those decisions and those things, will slim down. And we won't be in situations where I have that feeling, like I got to make something happen. So, yeah.
All Shedeur is saying is he is a young player who tried too hard on one play, basically. That's all he's saying. All of the mistakes I see from Shedeur can easily be corrected. That interception came at a bad time, like I said. And Shedeur will have to learn how to manage games in the NFL. When not to take shots and when to take the necessary shots. But I love how Shedeur continues to shout out his dad and show his dad love and respect and understand what his dad sacrificed for these moments for his son. And that's 100 to me all day long, despite what anybody may think and however their relationship is. Shedeur has his dad on his mind when he's playing ball, and everything he taught him basically since he been growing up as a kid. He ain't gonna never forget all those values that Coach Prime stored up on the Shedeur Sanders, you know? But moving on, now I'm wondering, what does Shedeur's future look like in Cleveland? Right? What does Shedeur's future look like in Cleveland? What are Shedeur's options if the Cleveland Browns don't plan to make Shedeur Sanders a starter heading into next season? What is his options? Because I don't trust Kevin Stefanski to do the right thing by Shedeur Sanders. And I won't until he gives him a new contract. Whenever that happens. I don't trust the situation. And when and if that ever happens, then Shedeur can quarterback in peace. Because the plan for Deshaun Watson is still up in the air. And everyone should expect the Cleveland Browns to give Deshaun Watson a shot somewhere down the line. I mean, you making $20 and $46 million and between $20 and $40 million. I'm sure they want to see what he can do. But that may play a big part in another setback for the Cleveland Browns. If they get caught up in the Deshaun Watson mess and thinking they can use him or get something out of him because they are paying him so much money and things like that, it could end up being another bad situation. But if Shedeur isn't named the starter quarterback heading into next season, he should request a trade. Because the cat's out the bag now. Teams want to win in the NFL. Shedeur is now a valuable asset that is young and has tons of potential. It's like the draft all over again for Shedeur, basically. They was able to screw him over in the draft, but now they don't have a chance to screw him over now. Scouts don't have that option to try to devalue Shedeur. They don't have that option to devalue players now because they prove what they can do against the best of the best. So if you try to devalue Shedeur Sanders now, you will look like the fool in the room. But if Shedeur continues, man, if he continues to play like this these last four games, Shedeur might be worth a second-round pick if someone wants to trade for him. That would be a huge gesture for a fifth rounder coming off his rookie season that isn't playing in the postseason. Shedeur requests a trade, and someone is willing to give up a second-round pick for Shedeur after starting 4 or 5 games as a rookie, fifth-round pick. That's big time. Just want y'all to understand that. And Shedeur's really proven his worth, man. I said he need to have big games these last 5 games to convince Cleveland to stay away from quarterbacks in the draft. And what does he do? He goes out and throws for 364 yards and makes NFL history for rookies. What a game, boy. What a game by Shedeur. That was an absolute fabulous game by Shedeur. Man, he showed out. And, I think that's what all the uproar and all the craziness that has been going on behind the support about Shedeur. We know that he can do this. We knew this. It wasn't no secret. It was like people just don't want to see it come to light. For some reason, people wanted to make it like Shedeur Sanders and his family could come take over the NFL. Shy away from Shedeur Sanders because of what? I don't get it. I really don't get it. This is not anything new, what Shedeur Sanders is doing. And you heard the commentator, he was trying his the person broadcasting that game, he was trying his hardest to hate on Shedeur in the beginning of the game, talking about how he pats the ball, and you see patting the ball is making him miss those dig routes. Man, none of that stuff is true. Everything they tried to say about Shedeur was made up foolishness, basically. That's all that was. And they tried to hate on this young man and hold him back. Now here he is. Nothing they can do anymore. There's nothing they can do anymore unless they just blatantly want to blackball Shedeur Sanders. And shout out to Cam Ward, man. Cam Ward, he went 4 for 4 and a touchdown on that first drive to get Titans on the board. And when he went 4 for 4 on that first down, on that first drive, man, I was looking like, oh man, here we go, Shedeur. How you gonna respond? And the first drive went 3 and out for Shedeur and ended in the sack. I thought it was about to be the other way around. I thought Cam Ward was about to have one of those crazy games, and I thought Shedeur was about to have a tough game. But no, Shedeur Sanders showed up and showed out, you know? I thought about something. Y'all want to hear something hilarious while we talk about Shedeur and him requesting a trade if he isn't named the starter heading into next season? You know what would be absolutely hilarious, chat? If Dylan Gabriel requested a trade after the season was over. He says he doesn't like the position he's in. He doesn't want to play behind Shedeur Sanders. He wants to request a trade. Would that be hilarious? That would be absolutely hilarious. I don't know, man. I don't know if anybody be willing to make a trade for Dylan Gabriel. You know, I really don't see anyone making a trade, but I can see someone claiming him off the waiver wires or something like that if he somehow ended up there. But ain't nobody trading for Dylan Gabriel. Unless it's the Miami Dolphins. because they need someone just like Tua, you know? Right? But yeah, man, that is so crazy. Finally, Shedeur. Just imagine what he would be doing if he had all the time he was supposed to get in training camp as a potential starter or a person competing for the number one job. Imagine what Shedeur would be doing at this time if he was starting since week 5, week 6. Man, it's unbelievable how this was how this manifested, man, and was able to make it this far. Basically, that was just unbelievable. I don't understand how I was able to make it this far, and I don't know if it's an unfortunate situation. It's fortunate for Shedeur, and it's unfortunate for Dylan Gabriel, right? When he goes down with a concussion and has to miss the game. That is the only reason Dylan Gabriel wasn't starting anymore, because he went down with a concussion and had to miss the game. That forced Shedeur Sanders in the game because they traded Joe Flacco and don't have nobody else. So Shedeur Sanders is making the best of his opportunity, man, and he's not humbling himself for none of you fools, man. If y'all think he's not humble, he's jumping here. He's being himself despite what they tried to put him through and how they want to blackball him. He's going to show up and keep doing his thing and talking shit to opposing players and things like that, man. So yeah, Shedeur Sanders is having fun and letting his swag hang out there, man. And hey, we gotta love it. We gotta love it. Continue to support Shedeur. But if he isn't named the starter heading in the next season, he has to make some noise. It can't be the respectful, logical Shedeur Sanders anymore, because, man, you can't just let them play with his future like that. And we know Cleveland Browns is one of the unique situations in the NFL. They signed all these quarterbacks last season. How many? 4 quarterbacks. And now they have Deshaun Watson coming back. You know, he coming back from Achilles injury. This is his last season under contract, basically, with the guaranteed money. everything is up in the air. How do they move forward with Shedeur Sanders? And the only thing would be is to name him the starter. If you name Shedeur Sanders the starting quarterback and start building this team around Shedeur, they have 2 first-round picks heading in the 2026 draft. You go get a stud of a wide receiver, and maybe another stud of a wide receiver, or an offensive lineman, or you just continue to build this team around Shedeur. Shedeur is a winner. He's not a champion yet, but you can see he has that mentality, man. Just let the kid work, man. Let him do his thing, man. That's what I want to see. I want to see Shedeur do his thing, man, and continue to prove the haters wrong, man. So shout out to Shedeur. Shout out to Shedeur pulling off putting up some big numbers today. He led his team down there for a touchdown. Stefanski wanted to go for 2-point conversion. That's what killed the comeback. Stefanski, guys. So moving right along. Steelers versus the Ravens, man. Steelers versus the Ravens. Sorry about that, y'all. Steelers versus the Ravens. Woo! And the Steelers beat the Ravens 27-22. The battle for first place in the AFC North Division is still going, but it looks like Steelers is ahead. Both teams come into this game with 6-6, man. And Lamar Jackson. Well, let's go over these stats first. 420 yards total offense for the Baltimore Ravens. A lot of yards. 318 yards of total offense for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Third down, 6 for 14 for the Pittsburgh Steelers, 7 to 18 for the Baltimore Ravens. Red zone efficiency, 2 for 4 in the red zone for the Pittsburgh Steelers, 2 for 6 for the Baltimore Ravens. And yeah, man, Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers got the job done today, man. I think his veteran leadership is paying off. You know, it was so-called. They had a team meeting, had to get together with his wide receiver or with his offensive group, you know, for them to pick up the pace. You know, put a little pep in their step, man. And I think it's showed out. It's the Ravens we playing. It's the Ravens that the Steelers is playing. So I don't know how much credit you want to give DK Metcalf. 7 receptions for 148 yards, you know, against the Ravens. But ultimately, we got to give him their credit because he got the job done. And then we got Lamar Jackson, man. Lamar Jackson, 19 for 35, 219 yards, 54% completion rate percentage. Lamar Jackson, he's coming back to his old self, but he's just not there yet. He's getting his legs up under him. He made some explosive plays tonight. He was trying to turn it over. And Zay Flowers had a big night. Lamar Jackson was able to find Zay Flowers. He was able to get behind the secondary for the Steelers and make some big plays. He made some big plays tonight. Derrick Henry was just shy of 100 yards. And they just didn't do enough. They just didn't do enough at the end of the day. At the end of the day, the Ravens didn't do enough. And I don't see the Ravens making the playoffs this season as well with what's left on the schedule. I think it's going to be a hard task for the Ravens to get into those playoffs. You know, the Ravens have 4 games left, and I see the Ravens losing 3 out of those 4 games. And for the Ravens to get 1 win out of those 4 games, it could get a little tricky. I think the 1 win could come against the Bengals, who they play next. That's who I think the win could come against. If not, they have a very high chance of losing all 4 games, 4 straight games. And those games go to Bengals, then the Patriots, one of the hottest teams in the NFL right now, the Patriots, the Packers. The Packers are playing really good football. Then they finish up against the Steelers again. Can the Ravens beat the Steelers in a rematch? I don't know, man. Things not looking good for Lamar Jackson, man. We want Lamar Jackson to end his career with one Super Bowl, and it's not looking good. The Ravens just don't have enough defense to expect to be a Super Bowl contender at this time. They don't play good enough on defense. When the Ravens are playing good on defense, it's because they're giving Derrick Henry the football. And Derrick Henry is the defense when they're playing good on offense. Because the defense doesn't have to get on the football field. The less the defense is on the field, the better the defense plays. That's just the way it goes. I don't know how good of a defense the Ravens have been in a while. You know, they're hiding behind Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry because of them being able to convert on long drives, right? That's part of the game. And Lamar, like I said, Lamar Jackson's chances of getting to the Super Bowl, man, it's not looking like it will be coming anytime soon, especially this season. You have to play good defense when it's time to play championship football, postseason football. The Ravens don't play good in the secondary. They're not rushing the passer that well. It's just bad football on defense. The cornerbacks are the people who they expect to play big or show up big in the secondary aren't really like that, you know? But I like how the receiver stepped up for Aaron Rodgers after hearing all that negative talk about his offense, especially coming from me, right? You know, I said DK Metcalf and Aaron Rodgers doesn't have the receivers that has that sudden quickness that can suddenly get open. And DK Metcalf must have heard me screaming, man. And today was a different story for DK Metcalf as far as getting open and making plays. He did his thing, yeah. Or like I said, it could just been the Ravens secondary. The Ravens secondary, they not too hot at all. They're not too hot at all. They got a lot of work to do. And DK Metcalf, he made some plays, so it don't matter, man. It don't matter who playing out there. It's the NFL. But I believe somebody got in DK Metcalf's ear and gave him the motivation he needed to get going. Because I seen a different player out there today. I seen a different player with different ambition, a different motivation, a different journey, right? And he was getting moving, man. He wasn't running his routes lazy. He was and he just made plays, man. He was just making plays. And it only gives me a little confidence about the Pittsburgh Steelers moving forward. You know, once you got Aaron Rodgers, you know, deciding to play at a high level and giving it his all, that's 50% of the battle. Because Aaron Rodgers is a very good football player. Don't get it twisted. Aaron Rodgers understands all the little details of the game, who needs to be where, when the hot routes is supposed to be on, when to check into them, you know, the disguise blitzes. He done seen it all, you know, over 15, 16 years of playing NFL. There's nothing he hasn't seen. He just need the players out there and him wanting and the will to go out there and get the job done and do it at a high level. And not with that timid, scary stuff and, you know, that it's about him type mentality. So, yeah, man, it's going to get interesting, man. Like I said, I don't know. Chat, who wins the Super Bowl this season? Who are the favorites for the Super Bowl? Like I said, the Patriots are one of the hottest team in the NFL. Then you got the Denver Broncos, right? You got the LA Rams, so another hot team. The Seattle Seahawks, another hot team. Who wins the Super Bowl? And now we're talking. So let's have this debate. Is Lamar Jackson overrated? Is Lamar Jackson an elite quarterback in the NFL? Or is he an overrated quarterback? Because this debate has been going on for a long time, and we all been talking and saying that Lamar Jackson needs to win a Super Bowl to be considered with the greats. We said that. Lamar Jackson has to win a Super Bowl if he want to be considered with the greats. And he hasn't, it doesn't look too promising. But I don't think that makes him overrated. That doesn't really make him overrated. I just he just is in that category of, the Super Bowl winning elite type of quarterbacks at the end of the day. But at the same time, when we think of Josh Allen hasn't won a Super Bowl. Is Josh Allen overrated? Mr. Superman. He can't be overrated, right? He hasn't won a Super Bowl. What's the difference between Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen, right? They both haven't won Super Bowls. So who is elite and who isn't? I say until you win a Super Bowl. The thing with Buffalo Bills, let's get into this game right quick. Let's get into this game. So we got the Buffalo Bills versus the Cincinnati Bengals. And this was a crazy game, man. This was a crazy game. And yeah, this was a crazy game. Cincinnati Bengals blew this game and loses to the Buffalo Bills 39-34. 416 yards of total offense for the Buffalo Bills and Josh Allen. 338 yards of total offense for the Cincinnati Bengals. And if you look at third down efficiency for the Cincinnati Bengals, you will see they went 10 for 12. That was probably the best third down efficiency of any team this whole season, this entire season. That's a 90% conversion rate, right? Y'all get your calculators out for me out there in the chat. 416 yards of total offense. Right? And Cincinnati Bengals, man, basically they need to be ashamed of themselves. The Cincinnati Bengals, y'all, if you're fans of the Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, Joe Burrows, y'all stand up in the chat because your team should be ashamed of itself, losing this game with 5 minutes left. The Bengals were in control this entire game. Everything was going great for the Cincinnati Bengals until Joe Burrows tries to get cute and push the ball over the head of Christian Benford's head. And you know what Christian Benford does with the ball after that? He takes it to the house. And and this is one example that y'all can see why quarterbacks throw sidearm and things like that. Because it's hard to get the ball right through the player or elevate it to over the head of the player and get the ball, in good speed to the receiver so he can catch and run. So if you see a quarterback throwing sidearm and someone's in his face because he's trying to create a lane to get the ball past the defender. But yeah, the Cincinnati Bengals was in control this whole game, man. And they don't know how to finish games. That hasn't been Cincinnati's problem for the longest. They just don't know how to finish games. We don't even have to talk about how terrible the defense is. The defense is just terrible. You know your defense is terrible, so you have to learn how to finish a game with the terrible defense. That's how it goes. Cincinnati goes 10 for 12 on third down and still finds a way to lose. 10 for 12. It's damn near perfect. All Joe Burrow had to do was not turn the ball over. And the Bengals win. Just don't turn the ball over. And Buffalo got very lucky in this game to get this win. Because it was looking bad for Josh Allen until those last 5 minutes. It was looking like another L for Josh Allen. And the thing about Buffalo, the Buffalo Bills that I can't get, they don't have a specific formula or way of winning. We all know when they're winning, it's usually because of Josh Allen taking over the game. We're used to that. Superman putting on this cape and showing up and showing out. Or even sometimes James Cook shows up from time to time and takes over a game. Today was a team effort. You know, it was kind of a team effort. Just don't know the identity of the Buffalo Bills and how they're going to win each game. Superman put on his cape. We expect that. We expect him to put on his cape and try to win the game. And he did that today, you know, on a few plays. And he made some high-level plays and high-level throws, man, including that throw to Khalil Shedeur, if y'all remember, man. I think it was one of his first touchdowns he threw. And I don't know, man. I don't know what Josh Allen saw on that play to make that throw to Khalil Shedeur. It was 3 Cincinnati defenders around Shedeur. And all Josh Allen could see was Khalil Shedeur's back with the 3 defenders around him. And just because you've seen his back, that doesn't give me enough evidence or enough, that doesn't make me feel comfortable to throw the football because I see his back. And it's something, I don't know how quarterbacks know and when they know to get the football out of their hand. And if someone is open or they have a chance to make a play. Because a lot of times, man, things doesn't look like it's open unless it's a design play. And that was one of those plays, man. So that's why quarterback is one of the hardest positions to play in the NFL. And defense just made it hard for Josh Allen, man, especially that third down miss, man, letting them convert left and right. Buffalo has a horrible defense. They are horrible on defense, man. I think Buffalo and the Ravens are pretty much in the same category. They just don't play good enough on defense to make any noise in the postseason. But on the flip side, the team that has to face Buffalo in the wild card or one of the first games in the postseason, that's going to be very scary. You don't want to have to face Josh Allen in the first round of the playoffs. Because it could get real tricky, you know? And this was a very cold game, a lot of snow. It's football weather, baby. And T. Higgins, man, he showed up, man. He was balling out of control for the Cincinnati Bengals, man. And he was manhandling Buffalo Bill cornerbacks. It was so easy for T. Higgins, man. It was like, how tall is T. Higgins in real life? He has to be, about 6'4", 6'6", the way he make cornerbacks look so short, you know? T. Higgins basically used his height. T. Higgins used his height and basically was rebounding the football all game against the Bills. He was rebounding the ball. It was like a basketball game to T. Higgins. Joe Burrows was shooting the ball, and T. Higgins was going up for the rebound, boxing out the cornerback, going to get the ball at the high point. They didn't stand a chance. It wasn't even close. It was that simple for Joe Burrows, just throw the ball up. Then sometimes, from time to time, he'll look for Jamar Chase. Jamar Chase to do his thing. But T. Higgins wasn't even creating any separation or anything. It was just throw the ball up. I'm going to control my body, show good body control in this snow, and make the play. That's exactly what they did, man. So, yeah, it was a hell of a week of football, man. It was some exciting things. And we got the Colts versus the Jaguars, and I don't know what the Indianapolis Colts going to do now. Daniel Jones is down with Achilles injury. Anthony Richardson is on injured reserve. One of the hottest teams in football. Not looking so hot no more. That's what happens, man. That's why you never know who is going to win the Super Bowl. What team is still going to be there when that time comes? You never know. Football is so tricky. It's so violent, so rough. It's so much on your body, man, and it's hard to predict. And it's a team effort ultimately at the end of the day. Which team is going to play as a team the most on that day to get a victory? And that's ultimately what it boils down to. Defense wins game. Offense wins games. Defense wins championships. And what team has the closest bond? What team doesn't want to let their brother down the most? You see what I'm saying? I want to be accountable to the highest account when it comes to going to war with my brother. I can't let him down. That's the mentality you got to have. If you want to be a Super Bowl champion, man, I'm telling you, I've been a part of it. Been on a few good teams, man. And yeah, man, Shedeur. Let's see who the Cleveland Browns play next, man. I know they got the Steelers and the Ravens soon. But let's check it out real quick, man, and let's see who the Browns got next. Oh, got a pretty good schedule coming up. A challenging schedule. Make sure I see this right. Oh, yeah. Shedeur has this next game coming up for Shedeur, man. He's playing against the number one defense in takeaways in the NFL, the Chicago Bears. That's going to be a tough task. And listen, man, if the Cleveland Browns have the Chicago Bears up next, the Buffalo Bills after that, then they have the Pittsburgh Steelers, then the Cincinnati Bengals. Listen, if Shedeur Sanders can have a phenomenal game against the Chicago Bears, that definitely solidified him as a number one quarterback in the NFL, man. It's just running out of time. You can't even, you can't even put him on a pedestal too high because it's like, what are you doing? The kid only played a few games, man. But I see talent. That's what I look at, and I'm evaluating the talent. And who looked better out of Shedeur Sanders than Cam Ward? Who played a better game? It's very simple. I'm not saying take anything from Cam Ward. Cam Ward needs more of a team. They need to start building that team around him, getting them to first. They got to get a good staff, a good coaching staff around him. Start building the right atmosphere for Cam Ward. But at the same time, I'm hearing that it's not out of the possibilities that the Tennessee Titans might be drafting a quarterback next season. Would that make any sense? But maybe that's something we could talk about tomorrow, man. My Super Bowl prediction was the Philadelphia Eagles and the Los Angeles Chargers. And guess what? Monday night, tomorrow night, they go head to head. And let's see, man, if they're still playing good. Justin Herbert, if that risk is okay, if he's suiting up for the game. Let's see if Jalen Hurts and A.J. Brown, if they can get the win, man, and Saquon Barkley back rolling. But I appreciate y'all rocking with me tonight, man. And let me go through a few chats, chat and see what we talking about tonight, man. But yeah, man, it's a lot of chat, man. I sure appreciate y'all showing up, man. I love y'all. Hope y'all love me back, man. And yeah, man, it's always one love over here, man. And I'm just an authentic guy, man. That sometimes people can't handle that authenticity, man. And the truth really hurts a lot of people. It's what I come to find out in this life. And I'm a truth teller, man. And I don't belong in some places. So I stay in my lane. This is what I learned in my, through my journey in life, man. And yeah. Say what needs to be said. Shedeur, baby. Shedeur did his thing, man. And I'm gonna see y'all tomorrow night, man. It's Sunday, Mr. Pick Six Samuel. Usually I got my boy 2-3 G's with me, but he up in Cali, man. And got some special things coming, man. We got some deals in the work. And yeah, we elevating around here, man. We elevating. So I'm gonna see y'all tomorrow. Make sure y'all tune in, man. Make sure y'all tune in ASAP. Soon as we go live, man, I want y'all already waiting, man. And chatting it up, man, and giving me some things to talk about. So, like I said, I always appreciate y'all coming through, man. But Shedeur, it's over. Shedeur has cemented himself as one of the quarterbacks in the NFL. Gonna see y'all tomorrow. We are